All right, so let's summarize this week in Tesla. I've been gone for a couple of days, but I am back. And today I'm going to do it a little different. All right, I'm going to talk about the weekly and then go to the daily and then go to the monthly. And you'll see why. You'll see why. But let's talk about the weekly first. It's been an incredible week. A week of something and then a week of nothing, because there was big moves in Tesla, but it basically didn't do anything. It didn't go anywhere. If you look at the last weekly bar, we basically got a doji candle. It's green for the week, which is a good thing, right? That's a good thing. But for the most part, the week opened at 202 and it closed at 197.79. And right now, Tesla in the aftermarket traded as high as 198.26. So it's basically a week of nothing when there was big news coming out in Tesla. But anyway, the chart looks confusing. Let me just break it down real quick. Got lines all over the place. I actually hate doing drawings like this. All right, so we got the Fibonacci. We got the Fibonacci from the all-time high to the recent drop right down here to 100. And we drew the 38.2, the 50, and the 61.8. We have three downtrend lines. Now I got three downtrend lines, and I'm calling them primary, secondary, and tertiary. And each one of these downtrend lines are significant because they all have two touches. Well, the primary downtrend line has three. 1, 2, 3. The second one has 1, 2. The third one has 1, 2, if you want to look at it like that. This big fat orange line is a major level of resistance, is what Tesla is actually fighting, is what makes you just go, ugh, because the stock just cannot break through it. But the good news is it's not breaking down. That's the good news. I mean, we have great volume, dojis. I do think we will break through eventually. When I zoom out here, you can notice that it's just a consolidation, right? We just kind of consolidating right here, and hopefully this consolidation resolves to the upside, because we have moved up, consolidate, and hopefully we break out to the same direction that we was once moving. Now, notice the struggle. The struggle is that resistance line right here, the big fat orange line right here, as well as this tertiary downtrend line. It's right there, wedged up in that corner. And I do think one of these two, I know for sure, will be resolved. I mean, the next week candle is going to open right here, right? And hopefully we can break that tertiary downtrend line and don't have to worry about that anymore. I could take that off the charts. And then we just got to worry about this level of 220, major resistance. Now, there's also has been another significant level which I don't have drawn, and that's right here, and that's this level of support that we've been bouncing hard from. I mean, Tesla's been a champ. When you think it's going to roll over, it doesn't. It pops right back up, showing you that it just wants to go higher. It really does. It's the bulls and bears moment, and somebody's gonna win this battle. Look at the doji candle. Look at these tails coming off of the support level. Look at these tails right here, right? And then also look at these tails coming off the resistance, right? So all the action is here, and the price level remains the same, consolidating. Basically, the stock is kind of starting to have a little volatility squeeze coming to it, which means an explosion to the upside or the downside. Now, let's go ahead and go to that daily chart that I want to show you. When you look at the daily, I see things. I see right here, my little moving average crossovers. You should be kind of selling if you follow that. You got the stochastic, it's pointing down, split apart there. You should be selling as well. Look at the gaps in this thing. The trading action the last couple of days has just been crazy, man. Just filling all these gaps. But here's a little question, man. What about this gap? What about that gap right here? Do we fill that gap? Huh? And in this gap right here, and this is 155 to 145. It's a substantial gap. It's making me, it does worry me. That's a 10% gap. that we kind of gapped up and just kept going. So if you like the rule of gap fills, we got to come down here eventually and fill that gap. And that's what concerns me about the daily chart. It just shows me sell with my moving average crossover, sell with my stochastic, and also sell because there's a gap here that we might have to retrace to before we continue our movement upward. Now, let's go to the monthly. The monthly I like. I really like the monthly. Stochastics looks good, right? Looks like this is buy all day. Also, I want you to notice that the volume, right? Look at the last 2 months. The volume has just been incredible, explosive, above the average, right? This is the 50. This will be the 50-month average, this yellow line, and just exploding for the last couple of months, along with upper price movement. That's why they're green. The last time that happened, right, if you kind of go back and where you just had 2 months of back-to-back explosion on the volume, is here, right? And then look at what we have here, right? It just started that tremendous up move. But if you notice, the next month was red. It's a stock price moved down before it started to go up. So we got 2 big explosions, and then this month, it's early. It's only a couple of days in, but you know, it's okay if we come down a little bit, retrace a little bit of that upward movement before we begin another leg to the upside. So it's just something to look at. That I do like the buy on the monthly, although my moving average, I don't really like the moving average crossover too much on the monthly, but it's showing it's not ready to buy yet. If you go to the weekly is showing it's just about to be a buy as soon as these moving averages cross over, which with the angle of the fast, it's gonna happen, right? And then the stochastic, it's okay. It's not coming down, so that's good. And then the consolidation, it's all good. And we're about to break this downtrend line just by time. Time alone is gonna do that. Consolidation. So I really like the weekly. And sum it up back to the daily, I just don't like that. I don't like the crossovers, and I don't just like this gap down here that you see, that you don't see on the weeklies and the monthlies. It just shows a big body green candle, but on the daily you can see that 10% price gap. Incredible. Anyway, so tell me what you think about this video. Do you think we need to come down here and fill that? Right? Or can we just consolidate more and forget about it, and we just keep on moving along? I don't know. I do think that, you know, I had my prediction before Investor Day we was going to kind of be up at the 220 area, a little higher, right? Before we pulled back. It did not happen. But we didn't sell off either. I mean, we did sell off after Investor Day, but we took it right back the next day. That's incredible, right? Here's the sell off, and then we filled the gap. And that's really all we did. But do we continue downside, or do we just keep moving to the upside? You know, I don't know. I don't know, but I do know resistance, downtrend, you know, on the stochastic gap, you know, and the longer term charts look good. So basically, if we do go lower, what it's saying is it's time to scoop up them shares. Tell me what you think, man. Get in the comments, like, subscribe, all that. I'm Dre Trades. I'm out.